Given the rise in income inequality, we were going to see increased polarization on the political front, which meant what? It meant more elections would be closer than what probably the polls would suggest. Surprised by the outcome, but not surprised that the elections were close. So that is a context. We look for markets where we've seen a sharp rise in income inequality to suggest we may see a change in sort of the political environment. So in Europe is our biggest near-term concern from an economic perspective. So areas, not so much France right now, but areas such as Italy where we still have bank capitalization concerns. We haven't seen the structural reform. So that could be something that we're looking for a period of disruption potentially in 2018. The farther out we look, the little bit more concerned we are with China. We're not concerned about China falling into a hard landing, which means their economy collapses in the near term. We think that's unlikely given the impetus of policymakers to keep growth up. But longer term, if China does not continue on their structural reforms, we do worry, it's not our baseline forecast, but we worry that China could become the next Japan, meaning a country of very high levels of debt that has not escaped the middle income trap. I think one thing to keep in mind is that their capital account, their currency account, is not open. So the flight of capital out of the country, although it can occur, that's a harder mechanism. So ironically, it means that the risk of a recession in China in the near term is lower than it would be for other countries around the world. That also puts, though, the fear potentially of the recession and avoiding it at all costs could be a longer-term problem for them, because the more that they forestall potentially putting out the state-owned enterprises, reforming, becoming more, and again, they have privatized, but if the risk that they would stall on that front, the risk that they would not achieve the longer-term sort of growth trajectory that they would hope for.